Here's the top 5 mistakes I see buyers commonly make. Top 5. Here's number 1, and this is probably you. Is you go on Zillow, you're searching for a home, you're looking, maybe you go to a couple open houses, you're so excited to go and find your first house or your next house, move up, right? And you go to a couple open houses, find this really cute house, this one that has all the cute bedrooms, has a really nice big master bathroom, has like the 2 shower heads, everything like that, fenced yard, maybe a little bit of pool, nice little garden, has the big kitchen. It's perfect, everything you've been looking for. And you go to put an offer in, but you haven't been pre-qualified. You don't even know if you can afford this house, but you know it's the perfect house. You need to get pre-qualified beforehand. You need to know where your money's at. It makes it very difficult to make a purchase that way. Maybe they'll accept the offer, but not likely. It's kind of like going to the grocery store, loading your cart up, getting like the watermelon, the chicken, getting the cereal, getting out everything you want, going up to the checkout stand, and not having your wallet with you. Makes it hard to give a purchase. Do you think they'll let you check out? No, not just on your word, right? You need to have either the card or cash, right? Yeah. So get pre-qualified beforehand. Know your budget. Figure out your money. So when you find that perfect house, you can actually put an offer in. Know if you can afford it. Okay? It makes it a lot easier that way. Now, there's also pre-approvals and pre-qualification. There's a little bit of difference of that, and we can figure that out. But the mistake I see is people not even doing that first step of pre-qualification. It's one of the more easier steps, to be honest. Now, along with that, it's kind of the second mistake I see a lot of people make. They did something right. They got the pre-qualification for, let's say, $500,000, right? And they go out shopping, but they're shopping at the top of their budget. They're $500,000, right? They're looking at all the $500,000 homes. You find that really cute place we were just talking about. It has the big kitchen, open floor plan, and it's like in the perfect neighborhood. Everyone wants to live here. You put your offer in, $500,000. You're not asking for anything crazy on there. There's no concessions. There's no seller needs to include this or that. You're giving them their asking price. But guess what? Your neighbor over here or someone else, 2 other people put other offers in because it was also their perfect house. And one person, they asked for the refrigerator and the dryer, and they came in at $500,000. And someone else said, we don't need anything else, but we'll have to sell our place, but we're going to give you $510 for the place, right? Well, they're probably going to accept your offer. You don't need to sell your house. You don't have any other additions on it. We got $500,000. And they say, well, this other one's at $510, and we just have to throw in the washer. Which one do you think they're going to take? Probably $510. They probably would send out, most of the cases, when you have multiple offers, they'll say, hey, send out your best offer. Well, you're already at your limit. You can't go up anymore. You can't adjust it. Okay? So it's better to shop down a little bit. Go looking for the place that's at $490. That way, if there's multiple offers on that perfect place, you can come up a little bit. There's some negotiation room. If you're at the top of your budget, it makes it very hard to do anything, especially down the line as well with like home inspections, things like that. If stuff comes along the line, you can't adjust anything. That's the other mistake with home inspections I see people make is, let's explain the home inspection a little bit. A home inspector's job is to scare you. Okay? They're going to name everything they see in the place. They're going to write it all down. Now, everything doesn't need to be changed about the place. You don't need to replace the chip paint or something like that. FHA you do actually, but let's say the carpet, he says like, hey, this carpet's kind of older or something along those lines, or there's not a grounded plug right here. Yeah, that's good for you to know, but we need to ask the seller to toss in some money for that or renegotiate? Probably not. The bigger thing we're looking for is major issues with the house. We're looking at the roof. We're looking at the foundation. We're looking at the major systems of the house, things that are costly. They're going to cost you some money. That's where we're going to renegotiate. And kind of back to my point of the budget and everything like that, if we need to renegotiate with a home inspection, we need a little bit of room. Say, they do need to do a little bit of work and we're like paint the walls or something like that, or fix some of the roof shingles. And the seller says, hey, yeah, we can come down in price or we can give you some sort of allowance, but we need to do something on your end. Say they say, we'll do the repair, but we need you to come up another $5,000 just to even out. We'll do the $10,000 repair, but we need you to come up $5,000. If you're at the top of your budget, and that's actually going to be a better deal, right? You're spending $5,000 to get $10,000 worth of work, but you can't do anything with that. A lender's not going to let you. Does that make sense? So both of those things there is number one mistake, knowing your budget. You need to know your budget and shop down. I'd say at least $10,000 below your budget. Not maybe a little bit more. Have a little bit more room there. And the other one with the home inspection is planning for those negotiations and knowing going into the home inspection how to read it, what to look for. We're looking for those three major things really, is the roof, the foundation, and major issues with like the life works of the systems, I call it, like the HVAC, the plumbing, the electrical, those major systems there that's going to cost you some money. We're looking at those things in the home inspection. So that's 1, 2, and 3 right there. Let's look at number 4. There we go. It's the shopping. When you're shopping out there on the MLS, a mistake that buyers make is they only look at the MLS. They only look at the market, right? MLS is multiple listing service. That means a seller's gone with a realtor, listed on the market. I'd probably also say along with like Zillow's for sale by owners and other things like that. They only shop there and they don't look at off-market properties. That's kind of what I specialize in, is finding those off-market properties. That's what the Perfect Home Finder program, if you hear me talk about that, that's what a Perfect Home Finder program is, including those off-market properties. Oftentimes, you can find a really great house that matches like 80% of what you want, and no one knows about it, so you can get in there without multiple offers. It's the perfect home. Without multiple offers, save money that way, and get better terms with the seller. The seller maybe had like grandma just die or something like that, and they haven't even listed it or something. Grandma died last week, and you come in right there saying like, hey, I got the money. This is the perfect house for me. Let's make it easy. It's great that way. I love doing off-market properties. It can be very great for both buyers and sellers of working deals out off the market that way. And a lot of buyers make the mistake of not even looking there. So if you want a list of off-market properties, whether it's general, I have a general list of everything I find of off-market, or if you have a specific area that you want to target, we can find you quite a few off-market properties there. You just need to select your area. So let me know and we'll get you on that Perfect Home Finder program, or at least get you on the wait list for it if we're already full for the month. Because we only do so many. There's a lot of work we do into that. I invest a lot of money in finding off-market properties because it works and it can be great deals. So that's a mistake buyers make oftentimes, is they just shop on the MLS, looking at the homes. Oftentimes the best deals are off-market. That's how the pros buy, really. All these pro investors and stuff like that. Do you think they're shopping on the MLS? Like maybe occasionally they'll find a deal there, but most of the time, pro home buyers is what I like to call them, is they're shopping off market. They're finding deals that way. So why don't you shop like a pro and find an off market place? Here's the top 5 mistakes I see buyers commonly make. Top